Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Pharaoh Iron and Customs out here on a Sunday. I'm not 100% sure how far we're going to go with this video today. I've done a bunch of cleaning in the shop. Still need to do some more. I always need to do cleaning. But what I was going to do is I'm going to start thinking about the rear suspension. Now, I chose the trailing arm setup because I have a set of 63 Chevrolet truck arms. And they come on Chevrolet trucks from 1963 to 1972. I think that's right. I don't think 62. I think 62 had leaf springs. 62 may have also had this setup. So we had some choices. We could take all the leaves out of the pack, use one leaf spring. Nothing wrong with that. We could have done a 4-link. 4-link. If I do a 4-link, I will end up having to cut out high enough for the link in the back. We could do that. It's not a big deal. It would probably fit under the seat without a problem. Like I said, I had the truck arms on hand, so that's the way I'm going. I haven't got a terrible amount of money in it, so if I decide not to, I can use the cross member on my Chevy to get a little bit better, anti-squat, I think is what changing the position of the truck arms helped with. So anyway, I basically got this set up like it would be in the car with this 2-inch block. I think it's a 2-inch, it may be 3, I don't think it's 2. Is it a 2-inch? Yeah. Hell, it's not even 2 inches, it's an inch, and well, if you measure it there, it's 2 inches. So, alright, so what I've done is I've taken a piece of cardboard paper and I've drawn a line 12 inches. I don't think we're going to be thinking about but about 9 inches of lift at the very most, and I'm going to do my best to draw an arc. I'm going to start here at the edge of the paper, stop here at the line, and see what that arc looks like. Oh, I forgot to mention that I had, I'm trying to find where the center-ish of the bottom of the axle is going to be. I drilled a hole in the end of this piece of and that was what I knew was going to happen. Oh, and I have mucked that up. Alright, let's move this. Move this one. That'll hold it. We can get up here, get back to the center, keep going till we cross over our 12-inch, which was right there. And now we're going to take the bottom of the arm, and I just had it lined up, and that's going to show us how much angle we changed, how much pinion angle change we're going to have in 12 inches of travel on this. Alright, let me move that out of the way. Oh, what I was going to say is I just took and grabbed the Forster's bit and drilled a hole big enough to put the mounting bolt through this piece of MDF. Now, we started here with the flat and we went here, and that's gonna, we'll extend these lines out and find out what that angle is, and that's gonna be the amount of change in 12 inches. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, it looks like in 12 inches of travel, this arm is going to cause 13 degrees of pinion angle change. Some things to think about is that we're not going to start, we're only going to ride the car at, I'm not, and this is the problem, we're not real sure, though. This is the reason why I'm not going to be able to weld this up. It's just going to be fitted up and tacked into place for mock-up until we get the car put together down on the bags and have the engine and transmission in and the rear axle in, so we can figure out what the ride height is going to be. And I want to drive this car low, so we need to have the pinion angle set at what the ride height is going to be when I'm driving it, if that makes any sense. So the change is not going to be, you know, from variations in ride height isn't going to be bad. I mean, they run this setup on trucks for years. They ran it on NASCAR up until this year. I think they had a change this year in the rules and don't use the suspension anymore. So, I knew there was going to be quite a bit of change in the pinion angle. And the thing is the higher up you go, the more the pinion's going to dive. You know, it's going to go from being like this, and then when you go up, the pinion's actually going to dive. So what I'm kind of thinking about is in the mid 70s, they had the Chevrolet had a double Cardane, I think is how it's spelled, joint in the Impalas. So that may be an option, you know. The best option probably would be to go 4-link. So, have I gone too far that I can't do that? No, I haven't gone too far that I can't do that. Do I want to do that? Not really. And thinking about it, I mean, choices, always choices. I'm pretty sure that this is the way I'm going to go. This should give a fairly good ride. The thing about this is I was talking about using a sway bar. I won't need a sway bar with this setup because the way you have two arms together connecting the axle across, and the axle actually works as the sway bar in this setup to an extent. I mean, because they come together at a triangle at the front, it does have some ability to, you know, move. But my Chevrolet, I drove it for, you know, until I got out of college, you know, with no sway bars on either end of it, with no problem. My Ranger doesn't have any sway bars on it. Do I wish it had sway bars on it? If I hook to a trailer with it and pull it somewhere, oh yeah, absolutely, I wish it had sway bars on it. So I think that this is going to be fine running these arms and running a sway bar on the front, maybe they have an upgraded sway bar for the front. I'm going to have to see with it lowered and bagged, that may mean I have to do something different. But anyway, let's look at some more things. Alright guys, I did some measurements. I think somehow or another my arc got off a little bit, but one way or the other, the most amount of movement that's going to be in the arc is going to be, you know, 0.5 of an inch. Like half of an inch is going to be the most of amount, and that's in a 12-inch arc. This thing is not going to have it's not going to have 12 inches from bottom out to 12 inches ride height. I'm thinking 5 to 6 inches off of the ground is where I want to try to ride this car. So that's the room we need to be thinking about. There's 3 degrees of pinion angle and about 7 inches. So where I want to go with this next is I'm going to build some or make some extensions, make sure that the factory rear end is at level on both sides, you know, even with the frame on both sides. Weld the factory rear end to the frame with some tabs. I'm going to unmark the frame and everything, you know, so I'll have some reference points, but I want to weld it in there, take the springs out from underneath it, try to get these lined up in there as best as I can. I may not be able to because of the saddles, but that'll give me a good reference as to where the front of these arms are going to end up on that cross member, and we'll get an idea about we'll get an idea about what needs to be done with the cross member. So that's going to be what's next. Probably won't be in this video. I'm going to say I'm going to end this video here. This is probably going to be, you know, I've already shot a bonus video this week, so this is going to be, you know, Wednesday's video. And then from now till the end of the week, I'll be working on getting this rear suspension set up in the back of the car. So this was kind of not a whole lot of you know, work done in this one, but a lot of theory in it. We're gonna see more what it's gonna do once we get everything in the car. I got brakes, axle bearings, and axle seals ordered for the 8.8, so I got to clean that up. We're going to figure out where the mounts need to go, paint everywhere except for where the mounts need to go, because like I said, that's going to have to be welded once we figure out what ride height is going to be. And the parts for the door, for the passengers, or the hinge pin bushings that I've ordered, kind of got jacked up and delayed for 2 weeks. So I got a message yesterday or day before yesterday from the seller that they're going to straighten that out and send me those pins out. So I'm still thinking that's going to be in the next week. And you know, summertime's coming, so we got a ton of stuff to do. Going to try to be on the boat next weekend. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to try to have this done for next Sunday's video. You know, getting this suspension set up, because that's what we need to do next. And sometime very soon we're going to make the motor to the transmission. If you're going to be interested in that video, putting a M50DR2 behind the flathead should be fairly straightforward, but you know, we'll see what we get into when we get into it. And until next time, like and subscribe.